They use banks. If we do development deals, they use other people's money. You can do a 1, you can do 2, 3, 4, 5, you can do 10, but if you want to scale, you're going to need to use leverage. Leverage is using borrowed capital to increase potential returns. Over 2020 to the end of 2021, rates were about 3%. People were borrowing money like nobody's business, and they are making a ton of money. Do you know why? It's because they borrowed at 3%, and they're bringing home 20, 30, 40%. Big companies were borrowing at 2 and 3%, billions of dollars. Literally, I work for Young Brands. They said in the annual report, we borrowed $1 billion. It was like, well, why'd you borrow this money? Well, they borrowed it because it was cheap. And they knew for a fact they could get more than the money that they was borrowing. So anytime that you have a business that's going to give you a high return on investment business and you can get money for a low amount, you're going to have to consider, if you want to scale, using leverage. All right, let's go to this last piece right here. And I want you, because that's the ideal investment. Does anybody remember what ideal it stands for? Man, I still can't get no help in here. Okay, good. Income, depreciation, appreciation, equity, and leverage. Very good. All right, I'm going to show you. This is a real example. What's the date on that? Is that 23? This is a check from yesterday. And this is the first time I've ever shown a check, real life. But I want you to know that this is a real thing. Is that this is a deal that we bought, of real world. We bought it for $60,000. We put $35,000 into it. How much am I into this property? $95,000. It appraised 2 weeks ago for $141,000. So this is the check that the bank gave us. They gave me my down payment back, and they gave me all my rehab money back. And now I got a house that's completely fixed up, and it's rented for $1,450. The payment on that house is $680. What's the difference between $1,450 and $680? It's a lot. It's a lot. So like, let's say at the end of that, I paid maintenance, I paid vacancies, some stuff happened. I had to fix some stuff that I already fixed everything. But so let's say I'm making $500 a month net and I got all my money back. Could anybody use $500 a month right now? But it's not even the $500 a month I'm excited about, and y'all should have been excited about. It's that it appraised for $141 and only took out a $98,000 loan. That means that I still got $40,000 in equity that's been created, and I still got all my cash. This is real time. This is as of yesterday. I want you to see this because we're talking about the value of doing it right now. That $40,000 at any given moment, if needed, that can be tapped into to open a business, to seed a nonprofit. And guess what? We're going to scale that. This is a very small example. Now I want you to add a couple zeros to this check. Add a couple zeros in your mind. Add enough zeros until you get scared, and then put yourself in it. How much of a check do you need to be able to have access to for everything in your family's life to be able to change forever? Don't waste any more time. Get the information. Learn how to do this business. Get you some properties. Hopefully, after this short time, I've convinced you that real estate investing is a right now investment. It's for you. And it's going to positively impact your family and your future for generations to come. God bless y'all. Thank you.
Wow. Come on, give it up for John Mays. So y'all missed out. He was trying to give y'all some gift cards, but y'all got to get the answer right off the dot. So next time y'all see John Mays come up, you better pull out the notes that he had from last time so you can make sure you get his gift cards that he brought you. But so everybody, what a powerful word that he's given us. One thing that I say about real estate, some people, we laughed, or we didn't really shout when he said, that's going to make me an extra $500 a month. But the truth be told, statistics tell us that about 85% of Americans are one paycheck away from being totally broke. One paycheck away from being totally broke. Losing everything after 2 paychecks. Missing 2 paychecks. So if that be the case, then truthfully, $500 extra a month does change people's lives. right? And then you get your second property, and now another $800 changes your life. Now another $600 changes your life, and so on and so on. You have a question? Well, hold on. So that's going to be a good question. You got to save that one for the end. We got the panel. You can ask it down. Write that question down and save that one for the end. All right, so I forgot what I was going to say, but it's okay. That's all right. I'm going to bring Dana up now. And Dana, the Coach Dana is going to come, and she's going to talk to us about real life and real estate. All right, give her a hand as she comes. Come on, give it up for her.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, we just needed Michael Ford to get up here, and then it would work. So, John Mays was talking about appreciation. Appreciation is real. I was on the phone with a lady just yesterday, and she lives in California. She said she bought her property. I don't know what year she bought it in, but she paid $330,000 for it. She said it's now worth $830,000. So, however long, maybe it was 10 years, maybe it was 20 years. But it's now worth $500,000 more. $500,000 more? And she didn't do anything? Appreciation is real, and it is your best friend if you will make it work for you. So go ahead and put my slides up, please. We're talking about profiting in property 3. This is part 3. It's okay if you missed part 1 and part 2, but we're just going to jump right into these slides. Oh, okay, they're telling me to hold on. So I'll just give you a little bit of the background story. It was 2018, and I was at my corporate job, and a lot of people at the time were retiring. They were offering a buyout. And I remember thinking, man, when I turn 55, I want to be in a position to take that buyout. So at that time, I called my mortgage company, and my mortgage company said that my loan would be, my house would be paid off in 2027. I was like, okay, I'll be 55 in 2025. Whatever they offer me, that difference should be enough to pay off my mortgage, and I'll be good. Because a lot of our leaders at that time were taking it, and I was just like, that's unbelievable. So that was helping me to get my wheels turning about this whole idea of potentially retiring early. And then I met a lady that said, retirement is a number, not an age. And I was like, huh? So basically, if you think about how much you need to live off of comfortably, think about your monthly expenses. How much would you need in order to retire? Is that $3,000? Is that $5,000? Is that $10,000? What is that number for you? So let's say it's $5,000. Then the goal becomes earning income passively so that where you can get $5,000 from rental property, and then you get to decide when you want to retire. You get to decide whether you want to continue working there, or you get to decide when they start talking slick that you roll up out of there. You get to make this, deuces, like I'm out. You get to decide that. And that's what real estate can help you do, is to provide passive income for you. And you don't have to work for it every single day. It's passively. Okay, let's go to the next slide. All right, so I'm going to tell you, that's what I was telling you just now, is why I got started. I'm going to show you a before and after picture, a real life example of a property that I actually have, lessons learned, and then I'll show you how to follow me. Next slide, please. Okay, so we just talked about why I got started, the retirement thing, and then, retirement is a number, not an age. Next slide, please. Okay. So this is a real life example. So I purchased this property in March of 2021 for $30,901. And it was actually on the market for $30,000, but everything that I was seeing was a full gut renovation. And if you're brand new, I definitely don't recommend a full gut renovation. That was the thought, is that to do something that's like an easy lift, not a heavy lift. A full gut renovation is a heavy lift. You want to look for something that maybe just needs some cosmetics, some paint and some new countertops, something that's going to be kind of easy. This was a full gut. The back side of it, you can't see it in the picture, but there was a tarp on the roof. Well, that tarp must not have been there all the time because all of the back was just water damage, but it still was the best looking property that I was seeing while I was looking for investment properties. So it was on the market for 30, and then that was when everybody was just getting up everything. So we had to bid to win. So we went ahead and bid over the asking price and ended up getting it. So the renovation cost was $82,000, which my initial strategy was that I was going to have it as a short-term rental because I was watching the Fords and they had short-term rentals in the West End. And then when I did my research, there wasn't a whole lot of short-term rentals in the West End. So that was what I was going to do. And so I based my budget off of the fact that I was going to keep it as a short-term rental. Well, after, I don't know, break-in number 2 or break-in number 3, I was like, you know what? The 2 main reasons people like short-term rentals is because they're clean and they're safe. And I felt like I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing that it had gotten broken into a couple times. But we all know that that's because it was vacant and all that kind of stuff. But ended up going over budget because since I decided, I said, now I'm going to flip it. I was outside the property and it had gotten broken into, and I called up my coach, and I was like, I'm ready to get rid of it. I was ready to quit. And so what the coach was able to do was to help me to talk me off of the ledge and say, okay, you need to do this, 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 and this. And then I got back on my senses, I got the property secured, and we were ready to go. But since I went from a short-term rental and that budget, and then I switched over to wanting to flip it, now I have to replace the siding because if you're gonna flip a property, you want everything to be brand new and everything to be, its best. So I went over budget a little bit. But as you can see, even with going over budget, I was all in at $112,901, and then it appraised in March of 2022 for $145,000. And then my loan balance as of yesterday is $100,155.02. So still equity in the property, and then my loan payment is $548.20. And this property is actually rented for $1,200. So like John, I pulled out, did the refinance. So the Burr method, I bought it, renovated, and refinanced it. And so make sure you ask the right questions to your lenders because sometimes lenders will make you hold the property for at least a year before you can refinance it. So definitely ask your lenders if you have to hold the property for X amount of time before you can refinance it. So refinanced it, pulled out $30,000, paid off my general contractor, and now am cash flowing about $400 a month. Next slide, please. So, lessons learned. Number 1, real estate is just solving problems. And what you will realize is when I realized that real estate was all about solving problems, it was a game changer for me. And the thing is that you understand that it's all about solving problems, and then you surround yourself with the people who can help you to solve those problems, which leads directly into building relationships. You have to build relationships with everybody. General contractors, electricians, plumbers, anybody who is associated with a house, security team, anybody who is associated with a house, you need to start building those relationships now. And then having multiple exit strategies. So what I was telling you initially, the property would have cash flowed as a short-term rental. It would have cash flowed as a flip, and it would have cash flowed as a long-term rental. And when I say cash flow, I mean that all of the income minus the expenses is your cash flow. So you definitely want to make sure that you have multiple ways to get to the Kizash. Because if you just have one strategy, if your strategy is just to flip the property and interest rates go up, and when you did your analysis, you thought the property was going to be able to sell for $150,000, but now you can't sell it for that because while you were doing the renovation, the market switched or anything can happen. Then if you just have one strategy, you're going to be in a pickle. And this is my plug for getting grants and funding. I know everybody wants to get a grant. Everybody wants to get help with refinancing, but be careful with that because they only allow you one strategy. And that's risky because there's a property on the market right now in a very, very good area. And I actually reached out to the agent and I said, you know what? I'm just curious about this property. Like, why isn't it selling? And she had gotten, well, the owner had gotten grants for that particular property, and you can't make over a certain amount in order to buy the property. She was like, I've had a ton of interest, but they make too much money. So be very careful about getting grants and these types of things because they box you into one strategy. And with real estate, having one strategy is dangerous. All right, and quitting is not an option. Even after that third break-in, you have to make sure that you have the mindset that we're not going to quit. We're not going to quit until we get to the Kizash. The goal is getting to cash, and regardless of what happens, make sure you're getting to the cash. Even my son was like, Mom, when are you going to quit? And I was like, and you're teaching your kids too, like everybody is watching you, right? And you just don't want to quit because you're an example for everybody. So quitting is not an option. And then hire a coach. Just like I said, when I was sitting out in front of the house after the third break-in and I was ready to quit, I was able to call my coach and she was able to share with me what I needed to do in order to keep me in the game and so that I didn't quit. So definitely make sure that you hire a coach. You can't do this by yourself. If you're the type of person where you're like, you know what, I'm just going to do this all by myself and I don't need anybody, no, that's not for you. If you don't like solving problems, real estate is not for you. If you don't like building relationships, real estate is not for you. If you don't want to be able to think and have strategy, real estate is not for you. Definitely hire a coach. My last slide is, if you want to follow me, so these are my social media channels. And if you want to take a picture, I do have a podcast as well. So I have all of the QR codes in order for you to follow me. And that's my time.
Awesome. Put Dana's slide back up. Make sure everybody was able to get that. Throw that slide back up for you. Man, she done come a long way. She got all her handles up right now. My God, give Dana a hand. That's what I'm talking about. There's something particularly that I want to make sure that you catch in this meeting. And that is there are so many different ways to make money in real estate. And that's the part that I'm so sad. Some people say, you all are sharing this information for free? Ain't y'all worried that they gonna take your stuff? I'm not worried one bit anybody gonna take my stuff. Truth be told, it ain't enough hungry people. There ain't enough hungry people. A lot of people are people that say, I want it. You can take it down there. A lot of people say, I want it. But then when they find out there's some work to it, when they find out that there's some problems that's going to happen, oh, I'm done. I'll forget that. And let alone if they got people in their life that tell them, you know that stuff is risky. You know what's risky? Doing nothing. That's what's risky. You believing that at the end of your life, when you get to 60 and 70 years old, that you're going to have enough money from that, hold on, let me put it in quotation marks, retirement. Yeah, right. Go ask the people who retired 20 years ago that's still living and see how they doing. And see that what they retired with before when they was getting, they might have got, oh man, I retired with, I get $1,500 a month. And back in the day, they was like, whoa, that's some good money. Is $1,500 a month no money? No, you can't do nothing. $1,500 is groceries. So a lot of us, we close our mind up as soon as there's some challenge that happens. But the way you get around, Dana was trying to share with him, the way you get around that stuff is having mentors, right? Having coaches, having people in your life that will share with you. And then the other part is being hungry for knowledge. It cracks me up how many people come up to me and say, tell me about real estate. Man, go get a book. Go get online. There's YouTube University. You want me to take all the knowledge I got and somehow pour it into your brain? No. Come to Master Builders Academy. Right? So all of these are opportunities, but you got to be hungry for it. So I want you to see this. So write this down. Multiple ways to make money in real estate. Multiple ways. So sometimes you're looking at other people. Well, I'm going to do it that way. Dana said, I looked at short-term rental. So then she switched and said, wait a minute. I'm going to flip it. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to rent it out now. Listen, and she could have came up with 10 other ways how to make money in it. All right? So I want y'all to make sure there's multiple ways to make money in real estate. Don't say, I'm not doing that part. No, there's multiple ways. I want to bring to you Miss Mary Owens. Miss Mary Owens is 73 years old, and she found another way to make some money in real estate. Give a hand for Miss Mary Owens.
Good morning, Master Builders. I like what John Mays usually asks. He says, who all in here is in real estate? And then he comes back and says, we're all in real estate. Either you're paying somebody to build their dream or somebody's paying you to help build your dream. Of course, coming to Master Builders and hanging out with all these people, you can't help but want to get involved. So, the thing, I've had, wishy-washy back and forth, but I'm like, well, there's got to be something I can do. And it reminds me of what the prophet asked the lady, what do you have in your house? Okay, I have a house. I have rooms in my house. So I have an extra room. I redid the room with the help of Balashay Home Designs, thanks to Shannon. Redid my room. And I have a bathroom that goes along with it, private bath. I have quite a large house. I have a lot of bathrooms. But so they could have their own bathroom and room. Okay, so I'm like, So I met a lady. Actually, she was a traveling nurse. And she came to the church. I met her and built a relationship with her. She was here working at one of the hospitals downtown for 3 months, and when she got ready to go back home, we got her each other's contact information, and she contacted me and said that she was going to be coming back on another job, and I was like, I've got a room. She had stayed at a place, paid quite a bit of money for it, and she wasn't happy there. She didn't feel safe. I was like, well, I feel safe in my house. So I said, well, let me take a chance. I said, well, why don't you come and stay with me? I said, I have a room. I have a private bath. I have a whole house. You can have access to the washer and dryer and kitchen, living room. And she said, well, I'll take you up on it. And then when I, gave her the price, of course, now I know I could have gotten more, but and she came and stayed for 3 months, did her work. She worked during the day, worked long hours at the hospital. I worked during the day. I wasn't there. She wasn't there. And it worked. It worked really well. And like for a room, like a room and a bath, you can easily get $400 a month for. You're already paying your utilities. So it's really no extra burden on you. Maybe just, wash and dryer time. There's 7 days in a week you can wash some other time. But that really worked. So that got me thinking, well, I know there are lots of traveling nurses and people that travel and not nurses. So I thought, well, I had heard about a website that you can go on and put your information in and sign up with them, and they will send you information on people who are coming to town. And so you have an opportunity to make extra money. Obviously, and that's what we're in. That's what we're in it for, is the money. And these are just some of the slides of the way that I did. Of course, obviously, the room doesn't look like it did before, but that added some value as well. And you can do this. This is something that you can do. And I encourage you. And as a matter of fact, we were in Chicago, and we were doing our master builders, and there was a lady. She might have been older than me, I don't know. But we got to talking, and I was telling her what I was doing. She says, "Well, I've got a room I think she said she had a basement." She's like, "Well, I could rent that out." I'm like, "Sure you can. It's up to you." So there are more than one ways to make money. I still intend to get real, have real properties. But in the meantime, I've got somebody helping me out. Thank you.
Come on, give it up for Miss Mary. Miss Mary said, "Wait a minute." Listen, y'all. She preached and y'all didn't give her no amen. She took a text and talked about the woman coming to the man of God and said, I need some money. My boys are in trouble. And he said, "What you got in your house?" And this lady said, "Oh, but Miss Mary said, I got some rooms in my house." Listen, that's what I'm talking about. That's good preaching right there. 73 years old and then figured it out. And you know what? It's because Miss Mary's been coming and she's had her mind open, saying, "But what can I do? What fits what I got?" And that's why I'm trying to tell everybody, don't close your mind. Open your mind up. There's multiple ways to make money and profit in real estate. Now, I'm going to give you another one. So today we got Mr. Derek Spratt. And Mr. Derek Spratt's going to tell you about a very unique way, something he did. Y'all better hold on to your horses, because I was mad about it. Listen, I was mad that it wasn't me. Hold on. So I want Mr. Spratt, would y'all give him a hand as he comes? Mr. Derek Spratt.
Well, good morning to everyone. Real quickly, thank you, Bishop, for this opportunity to share. I always get excited when I can share and empower and encourage. So I'll get right to the meats and potatoes of what I came to do. Since I got 7 minutes, I'm going to be counting myself. I was in real estate, and it's good. Everybody is in real estate. I love that. You either buying it or you renting it or whatever it is. But in my situation, I got tired of chasing rent. I did. This person has an excuse. The dog got sick, so she got medical bills for the dog, and it's always an excuse. So I asked the Lord, what was my next move? Really, in everything that I do, I try to acknowledge Him and say, what is my next move? And there was an opportunity to buy churches. And I seized the opportunity, kept my ear to the ground, what was going on with the area of Louisville, what churches was going out of business, what churches were merging. And this ain't for everybody, but it's for you. Just listen to what I'm saying. And so I had an opportunity to buy a building and negotiate. I do believe you need to have coaches, but sometimes you got to be led by the Holy Spirit. And in all our way, acknowledge Him. He would direct your path. And the offer I made on this building was crazy. But I knew the people's struggle. I knew what they were going through. I knew they could no longer handle all these properties. They had millions of properties throughout the world, but here He said, if we can close in 2 weeks, I'll sell you the property. 100. Do y'all have my property? One of the properties I have on one of the slides. If you do, you can put it up there. If not, show them. So this is a 17,000 square foot church building. Came with a 3-bedroom, 2-car garage, brick ranch in the south end of Louisville. The house alone appraised for $263,000. You can take it down. You can take it down. But I'm just saying, now the property, I got one that gives me about $65,000 a month for rent. Another one gives me $1,805 for rent. The house, $6,500. I said $1,000. $6,500 a month for rent. So the property is generating. Now, in real estate, you get $500 here, $600 there, $800 there if it's a good property. And passive income, it is really, I don't do nothing. I told Bishop, he said, what are you doing now? I said, whatever I want to do. Because I positioned myself. I did the research. Everybody cannot take on these commercial properties because they're a hassle. But if you're good at negotiating, I make my tenants anything major, guess what? Y'all gonna split it 3 ways. Don't come to me unless it's over a certain amount of money. If it ain't over $10,000, y'all better figure it out. Utilities, y'all better figure it out. Internet, I had to put in my name, but they still pay me for it. But it's still these moments where we have to, I told Bishop, the Bible says, I know the plans I have for you, to prosper you, to give you an expected end. We just got to up our ask. Lord, what is it that you plan for my life? Real estate is the fastest way to wealth. The fastest way. I hate stocks. You love them, I hate them. I told Bishop, if I can't feel that property, it ain't worth my time. Or that investment, it's not worth. I do not like someone handling my destiny. Lost a lot of money, but I realize in this, you cannot have an emotional attachment to money. You cannot. You have to be able to, no, look, if I give it, if it flips back, it's whatever. But when you have emotional attachment to finances and to investment, you will always lose. You will always lose. So now I have properties to do whatever I want to do. And then it gives you the L, leverage. Guess what? I didn't even use my own money to buy the property. I did. And then the kicker is, I told the church, all right, if I do this deal, I know I offered you $150,000 or whatever it was, but you know what? I realize it needs some work done. I need you all to cut me back, your house, $30,000 for renovation. So the deal was only for them like $100 grand, $120 grand. Found me some quick money. Use somebody else's money. He said, hey, you got to pay me back, but interest only. I'll do his practices now. Interest only for whatever time. He said, you ain't got to ever pay me back. You're going to give me that $1,200 a month. My property is now appraising for $1.5 million. But I got 13 seconds. There's so much I can tell you about the road to where I am now. And it wasn't an overnight get-quick scheme. 10 years ago, I was lifting refrigerators for Aaron's Rent-A-Center. But it took somebody who says, I believe in you. You got a mouthpiece. You should be in sales. And I go, what? In sales? I don't know what commission is. But to be working for Sprint Corporation and max out their whole commission structure. that they had to pay me residual because they only had it where a person could make $21,000 in commission in base and then $80,000 in commission. I just said I maxed it out. Hundreds of thousands maxed out. All because someone said, you can do it. You gotta have somebody in your corner that says, you can do it. We can't take our husbands and wives sometimes to these properties. I'm sorry, Bishop, I gotta move. To these properties because they cannot see the vision. Me and Crystal was gonna buy a property. I don't know if y'all know my wife, Crystal Goodner. We went and looked at a property. I said, my God, this is gonna be a gold mine. She said, take me out of here. And I need to go take a bath. I said, Crystal, but she says, Derek, no. So guess what? Crystal, she does her media stuff. She don't care what I do with she don't care. She just when she want to go get her hair done in Atlanta, she fly to Atlanta, she do whatever she want to do. She just, where's the money? But anyway, you gotta have someone in your life that believes in what you're gonna do, and they don't ask a lot of questions. And you gotta know by the Holy, we all saved in here. You gotta know with the Holy Ghost in you, Father, is this the right move? The enemy comes to steal, kill your ideas, your prosperity. Somebody, one move, I could have never been where I am. My wife said, you can do it. I said, well, okay, if you say I can do it. I had to see what was in me. And my life has never been the same. You all have to do the same thing in this. I love this, master builders. And I told Bishop, and I'm done. When I came here, I've been coming around Christ Temple for a long time. But there was a different flow now. The pastor and his wife can't be the only one balling. The oil drips down. This is why he don't care what you know and learn. Because guess what? You got to sow back into the house of God. All right, I'm done.
Give Mr. Spratt a hand. You can stay up here. Give Mr. Spratt a hand. So, listen, I want y'all to see, this is what I'm talking about. There's so many different ways. Look at that. Ain't that beautiful? That's beautiful. There's so many different ways to profit in properties. And I like what he said. I want to reiterate something. He talked about that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. One of the best ways to make money for me and for most of these people around here is in properties. But you don't get rich overnight. There's a process. And then there's a process of learning. And then there's transitions that happen. You may start in one area. Now Dana transitioned 3 times in one house. But some of the transitions are a little bit less pronounced than that. Sometimes you start in a certain area of town. That's your way to get in. But you may transition to another area of town. Then you may start in residential, but then you may then upgrade to say, I'm going to do commercial now. As you go and learn, you're going to find out, hey, this is the part that fits me. All right? This is what fits me. I want to bring up Dana. I want you to come back. John Mays, if y'all grab a microphone there. And then I want them to be able to ask their questions. So there's no question that's too what's the word for it? Ain't no dumb question. If you got it, it's your question. My God, ask it. I'm going to ask, Shannon, would you make sure that we have a microphone? Oglanda, you want to come? Now, see, that ain't what I said do. See, one day the saints are going to be obedient right here. I said, wait and ask your question to these folk right here. Ask your question again.
Okay, so I own my
come over here. Come to the middle here.
guess I need to stand up. Okay, okay. I'm sorry.
Well, y'all go to the middle. Now ask your question.
Okay, so I own my own property. I have an excellent credit score. I'm almost at an 800 with my credit score. My mom passed away in 2020, and of course I inherited a property. I didn't want to fix it up, sold it for $100,000. They gave me what I asked for. Of course I had to share with my siblings because I didn't want feuding and stuff like that. I'm very much interested in getting some type of real estate, but I don't know where to begin. I really don't even know what area of real estate I want to start in, so I was just trying to see if I could get some guidance.
I know what I was going to say, but no, you say what you're going to say. Here, I do real estate. People come to me, my company, for real estate sales all the time. Mamas got to get Medicaid, so they got to liquidate all the property, all of that stuff. The worst thing that we do as people, not black, white, yellow, red, is we look at the immediate gratification of the money. I would have never sold or mama's house. I would have took and told brother them, how much you want, because here's the thing, at that point they just see dollar signs, so they're going to take anything you give them. Remember, people won't that's why they got now laters. Say eat some now, save some later. You got to be able to, I would have told them, bought them out, took your excellent credit score and refinanced the house, paid them what they were owed, and kept your equity in the house. Your equity should have been somewhere. Is it 3 of y'all or 2 of y'all? 5 of y'all. So your equity in the house is about $25,000 then, if I'm counting right. No, you're at 15,000 somewhere in there. I'm just, but whatever. I would have kept your equity, and you probably had more, but you could have gave him 15, him 15, him 15. That's what I would have done.
I love that. I love that answer. Kind of as a look back. Now, let me tell you this right here. It's the perfect time.
Yes.
So let me start right there. You're at the perfect time. Your mind is right, and just like Bishop said, you open. Yeah. So this is the perfect time. The first thing you're going to want to do is get some information, some exposure. And so some exposure is going to happen in a few different places. What I love about Master Build Academy is everybody in here, if you were listening, you want a piece of property. Now, the only thing that's defeating that is your fear and your belief that there's some things that are going to limit you from being able to do it. Firstly, in your mind, you have to truly believe this is for you, and it is for you right now. Yeah. And then you're going to need to get the information. Master Builders is not going to be able to give you every single thing that you need for real estate. You need to get an environment where that's happening. I personally am a board member for the Kentuckiana Real Estate Investors Association. You want to join that. It costs $125. Everybody in here, I need you to join it. It costs $125. It's inexpensive. It's the best real estate investment you're going to make because you're surrounded by over 800, almost 900 now, real estate investors in this local area who all have different situations and they're making money in different ways. The second of which, CREA is not going to do it by itself. You're going to need to do some individual research. So you have to go, and now, instead of consuming the things that you were consuming into your ear gate, you're going to need to consume real estate into your ear gate. I had to switch from music to podcasts. And so I had to switch over the things that were coming in to educate me. I would read leisure books. Well, actually, I wouldn't read leisure books. I watched a leisure show. But instead of watching leisure shows, I would take that time and get this information. Then after that, if you want, that'll give you enough between those two things and Master Builders. That'll give you enough to be able to get your first couple properties. No problem. If you want to accelerate that journey, go ahead and get a coach. Me and my wife, for example, we do coaching, but we do it for married couples. And then, because you need to be with somebody who can tell you and help you to avoid some of the pitfalls as you go. So if you've had all these different mistakes happen to you and you see the right way to go, that you can have a community that's designed for that purpose who can help you. And I would do those things, and I would almost do them in that order.
Right, and just to echo a little bit of what John said, even if you were to go to the bank and have this project, a lot of times the banks won't even lend you money if they don't know that you're working with someone who knows what they're doing. So in terms of getting a coach and getting around people that can help you, there's another association, the NAREB, National Association of Real Estate Brokers, being a member of that organization as well. I was on a call with them, and River City Bank, that's who I was working with to get my loan. And when they saw that I was on that call, just being on that call alone saved me 10 grand.
So that's a great question, and something else I want you all to, those who are online, make sure I'm catching the questions that are online. But one other thing I want y'all to realize, a lot of times people say, "Man, I want to do that real estate." We get them fired up in here. But by the time they're done, everybody here want to do real estate. I want to do it. But then the part that they miss is the part that we tell them all the time. You're now going to have to learn. Yes. Like so many, like, all right, I'm ready to go do it. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like you still, like John's saying, you still watching TV and not watching, learning your lessons. Yeah. So one of the things I want to challenge everybody is make sure that you're doing research. So that's the question I want to pose to you guys. Like, what are some research tools that they can utilize to help up their knowledge?
Me started on this. Y'all know I'm a researcher. I used to hate reading books. I'm telling you, I didn't like it at all. But then I started getting these books and my life started getting better when I started Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I started reading Think and Grow Rich. I started reading The Millionaire Next Door and The Millionaire. I was like, hold on. There's some words I can read on a paper and I get paid. Bruh. Look. You read, you get the information, you get better, and then all of a sudden now you're able to do more and then you can make more. So that is that you have to be more and then you can do more and then you can make more. And that's the order it needs to go into. Let me give you a few YouTube pages that I'm subscribed to right now. Does anybody want them?
Yes.
Oh, this is a good one. I want you to start with Dr. Myron Golden, M-Y-R-O-N Golden, Golden, because then that's going to help you to get your money mindset right. Because just like what Brother Spratt said, what I found only here recently, he found out something that me and Joy just found out the last couple of years ago. And we've been in this real estate game grinding out. We thought we was doing all right. And I'm going to tell you, it's easier to make a lot of money in a little bit of time than it is to make a little bit of money over a long period of time. And I know we're saying it's not a get rich quick, but it's a lot easier to make a lot of money fast than it is to make a little bit of money slow. You can work just as hard with the same amount of output from your effort. But you're going to have to learn that, and he'll help you give some confidence. Myron Golden. The next one is going to be a very good one. Is Bigger Pockets. I want you to log into Bigger Pockets. It's just spelled like it sounds.
Also, once you get these, subscribe to them. Mm-hmm. All right, then you'll see their videos all the time, and that's no more cats anymore. You're not watching cats no more. You're not, when you're in the car, you're not bumping to your music. No, you're listening to these things to up your knowledge. Keep going for us.
The next one is Rod, R-O-D, Khleif, K-H-L-E-I-F. He is the mentor of people who own thousands of properties. His name is Rod Khleif. He does multifamily. And I'm just for the sake of time, I'm going to only give you one more. I'm going to give you my guy. This is my guy. I can't get enough of this guy. He's a deacon at his church. His name is Phil Puchikowski. But his name is spelled funny, Phil Puchikowski. I love Phil. His videos are short, but they're very impactful, and he'll help you. His last name is spelled P-U-S-T-E-J-O-V-S-K-Y.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Dana?
Just like everybody's saying, you have to stop listening to music, and I don't even own a TV either. So make sure
Dana sold all her TVs. That's how sold out she is. She's like, I'm done with TV.
Yeah, and so even in the car, you're listening to podcasts, you're listening to knowledge instead of music. So one that you didn't say was the Social Proof podcast, and they talk to entrepreneurs, and so you're always having this business mindset that is pouring into you, so that you don't have time to deviate.
No, listen, I am not here to reinvent the wheel, but we have so much. If you look at your Audibles, Crystal got me hooked up on Audibles. I said, I read all these books. I can really tell the truth and say, I read all these books. You don't realize how much time you're in and out of your car. Yep. And you talking, and you regurgitate what you've heard on this Audible or podcast. Just think where you want to be at and find a resource, and then be consistent. That is the main thing, is consistency. You can't leave here, listen to a blog all week, and then next week you back to bumping and looking at cats. So that's all I got to say.
Another thing, I had a lady. She came up to me. She saw me working on one of my houses, and so she came out. She started talking to me. She said, "I wish you was my landlord, and because my landlord, he sucks." And she started talking about what he don't do, and why I don't know why he do this and do this. And I said to her, she didn't like it, but I had to say it. I said, spoken just like a renter. And she was like, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "Spoken just like somebody who don't own it." See, you want somebody else to take responsibility for what you're doing to your house, to this house that you're living in. You want somebody to come in and do everything. I said, "Why don't you learn how to do it so you can take it to the next level and get your own house?" She got quiet. She said, "I don't know if I like you or not." And we good friends now, though. We're good friends. But what I'm saying is, a lot of time our mindset is wrong. We've been paying for stuff for so long, we don't know what it means to actually stand on the other side of the table. So our whole mindset is on. That's why a lot of us, when we go get our first property, you don't listen to what everybody's telling you. You say, "Ooh, I'm going to fix this up." And you start fixing it up just like you want it, like you going to live there.
Absolutely.
And your mentors are telling you, "Don't do it. Don't do it like that." So the point is, I'm telling you, is that's why you got to research. That's why you got to get it's to change your mindset. All right. What's the book, Mike Butler's book? What's it called?
Landlording on Autopilot.
Landlording on
Mike
Autopilot.
Butler.
Make sure you get that one, because that helps you in a whole lot of different. He'll give you some tips. I wish people wasn't just hard-headed. Sometimes people say, "Be my mentor," but they don't listen.
Right.
And then they calling you in all their emergencies. This happened because you didn't listen.
That's right.
All right, so make sure you listen.
And I'll add to that. Sometimes you have to pay in order to pay attention.
That's good.
Because when you're giving all that free game and then people are not executing on what you're telling them, it's because they don't have any skin in the game.
That's good.
Sometimes you have to pay in order to pay attention.
That's good.
I really do agree with that. It's like, for me and Joy, we pay for a lot of coaching ourselves, real estate coaching. We pay for individual leadership coaching. We want to get better, but it's not the paying. It's just like can I talk about giving?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like, if we don't
Please talk about giving.
If you don't give, you always going to be stingy. Like, it don't matter. You stingy. You a stingy person. Yeah. If you're not a person who's willing to give out the little bit you do have, when you get more, you're not going to give. You a liar. You're not going to give. You have to be able to release a thing. If you want to get a harvest, you have to plant a seed. It starts with your seed. Everything starts with a seed. And so before we started investing, we gave. We bought our first property in 2018. But in 2017, we saved up more money by Russ back. We wasn't balling like that. We had 11 stacks. We knew we was doing it. We was on auto draft. We knew we was doing it. We was hood rich. You know what I'm saying? We had it like that. We was doing it. Hey, can't nobody tell me nothing. I go out to eat when I want. I throw what I want in the grocery cart, and all my bills is paid. We was doing it. But I'm telling you, we didn't know. We was workers. Our gift for our time was wages, and we were happy with our wages. It made us feel secure. But when we were able to release, we took 10,000 of that, more than we'd ever had, 11,000. We put 10,000, and we put it right out here in this ground, sowed it into this ground. And I'm telling you, that $1,000 has blessed us 1,000-fold, more than that, in only about 4 years. From no properties to enough to take me off the job in 4 years with $1,000 because of what God can do with a seed. And so what I'm encouraging everybody to do is to keep sowing in whatever you got. Recently, we keep sowing, sow abundantly. Have a target in your mind that's, I'm going to sow so big. It's because then you lose your fear of money. This is the most powerful thing this brother just told you, is he's no longer has an emotional reaction to money. That'll change your life. When you're able to give, it helps you to lose your emotional attachment to money, and then you can really make accelerated financial decisions. Because sometimes we're so risk averse, we're holding on to our money like this, and we're not open to receive something new. And so be open by sowing a seed, and that's going to open you up for abundance.
And let the church say amen on that. Amen. Amen. So one thing, we only got about 5 more minutes, so I want to just ask this question. Was there a question in the chat that I needed other than the one you had sent me? All right. So then I want you to talk about what kind of team do they need to build? Like, what are the things? Who do people they need to know? Who do they need to have as part of their real estate team in order to be successful in this business?
Yeah, you definitely need a general contractor, first of all. And you have to build relationships with them, because even if you have a relationship with a general contractor now, things can change. So number one, a general contractor, as well as an investor-friendly real estate agent. All agents don't necessarily help investors, because some real estate agents don't even own their own property. So if you have an agent that, number one, doesn't own their own home and doesn't own investment property, then they're not going to have the right mindset. They're not going to understand the fact that you are not going to offer list price for the property. They're used to working with people who are going to live in the property and not you as an investor. So an agent that has property, so that they understand the numbers, as well as they might have a general contractor that they're working with. They may be able to help you with those relationships, as well as electricians. And my brother right here is an electrician. Terry right here, shout out, is an electrician. Security team, lenders, because different lenders specialize in different things. So like, for example, River City, they will loan you money to purchase property as well as the renovation. But when you need a longer term loan, you need a different bank. So different banks specialize in different things. So you just need to build relationships with everybody who is associated with the house in order to get your project completed.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in this one. The way we look at it is kind of similar. You need a big team in real estate. I can't go through the whole list of different circles, but I will give you the 3 circles. I'm going to give you, this is some stuff we only share in our program. But literally, we spend a lot of time on the exterior circle. I love my brother. He's an electrician. He's going to do a project at my own personal house, I guarantee you. But he's in the outside circle. That's the last circle.
And I'm going to get that number too.
Yeah, their electricians are abundant. Plumbers are abundant. Carpenters are abundant. These are people in the outside circle. Then there's a medium circle, the circle kind of on the inside, and I could go into more depth at another master builders. But on that inside circle, the second one, that's not quite in the core, but on that one, that's where your lenders, because there's a bunch of different lenders, but they're a little bit closer. They know you a little bit more. Attorneys, you're going to have some attorneys in there. You're going to have some different people, different service providers, real estate, like what she was talking about, real estate people, wholesalers that you might get good relationships with. They'll bring you deals. But you got to have and start off with that inner circle. Like, who are the people who are going to advise you on your course? Like what Oglinda asked, she said, I don't even know you need to have somebody in that inner group who you can trust, who understands your situation and who can advise you. That might be in a person who actually functions as an electrician. It might be a person who's in one of those other areas providing you a real estate service. But you need to have that inner leadership team and focus on that group who can give you guidance at your core of how you can strategically plan to get to the place that you want to go. And so that's what I would say with that.
Spratt, you got the last word on that.
My approach is different. I lease to people who are trades or in plumbing. It's always a win for me.
Yeah.
I have, at one of my congregations in the church, has 329 members.
Yeah.
All of them are Hispanic. Every contractor that you all, that's why I can't answer some of these questions. That's why I'm keeping my mouth shut. Everybody, I don't care if it's an electrician, if it's a general contractor, if it's a roofer, if it's a painter, he's got Jose.
Yeah.
And one of the guys came the other day and he was trying to tell me something. I said, don't worry about it. I called my Jose and said, interpret to this guy what I'm trying to get done. He said, Brother Spratt, I can do it. Within, brother, God bless you. And guess what? He did it for free.
Wow.
Yeah. Where I am now in this game, glory to God, because he gets all praises, is he gives you everything. He's given me everything that I needed.
Good.
I had to replace a roof for $141,000. God, I pay. Well, I don't know if can't tell you.
Just give me Jose's numbers at the end. That's
But
all
what I'm saying is,
I just want Jose's number
what
at
I'm
the
saying
end.
is, you have. That's why So they asked me, and I'm gonna move on. They asked me, can you just buy a multiplex? So guess what I'm gonna buy for them? A multiplex. He said, we'll do everything. We'll live there for free. We'll do all the renovations. So when I go to my investor and say I need 200,000, they gonna do everything at cost. They go to Lowe's, Home Depot, use my line of credit, buy everything they need, and I still walk in a property with only putting about 60 grand into something that's gonna be worth 500 or $1 million. So my answers aren't, that's why I'm like, why Pastor got me up here on this?
No, it's good. You know what? I want everybody to see there are multiple ways to do real estate. Listen, these are just 3 ways.
Right.
If I brought other people up, they would I could tell you my story. It's totally different than all of their stories. Like, I'm like, John, our first big deal, we went in and I was seeing everybody buying one at a time. I was like, one at a time? I ain't no one at a time kind of guy. I went and said, how can I get 8? Yeah. And that's how I started. I said, I want 8. And the bank was like, well, we ain't never really done that before. I said, but can't you do it? They said, well, okay. I said, let me go find the 8. Yeah. So I went and found the 8, brought it back to them. They said, okay. And the thing about it, my wife will tell you the truth. At the end of it, they handed me $50,000.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. Something. I thought I robbed the bank. Right. I walked out and I was like, wait a minute. I just spent $450,000 on these houses, and they gave me $50,000. So the reason why you're here is because I want everybody to see there are multiple ways. Yeah. That's what the whole getting knowledge, getting the understanding. I love that you thrown in pray, because boy, you're gonna have some stuff to pray about. Yeah. Listen, there are gonna be some things. Now I gotta close it up. Okay. I gotta close it up. Give them a hand, everybody. Thank you, guys. Will y'all give me 10 more minutes? Can I have 10 more minutes? I want to bring my wife up. Lady Andrea, won't you come up? Give her a big hand as she comes. I want to do one good exercise with all of you. And if you all are joining us in this exercise, and those of you that are online, and you say, some of you are asking, can I get John's number? Can I get Sprat's number? No. We'll send it to all the people who join Master Builders Academy. We'll send it out to them. You can get it that way. Give Lady Andrea a hand, everybody.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so this is the time where we're going to actually do some activities so you can stand up and talk to people. Yes, so this is our master chat where you're receiving your papers now. This will just help you get started, like your lead questions. So we've been talking about profiting and property. So now this is an opportunity for you to get to talking about it. So on your paper, some of you may have a 1 or a 2, or you may not have a number. Just look up in the top right-hand corner. Our number 1s, we want you to come line up in front right here, facing the back. The 2s line up facing the 1s down front. So come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Yes, and you'll go through the sheet. You're going to introduce yourself, and you're going to tell whoever it is you're talking to what type of real estate you are currently in right now. Do you own your home? 1's on this side, facing the back, and 2's on the other side, facing them. If you don't have a number, just find a spot. Yep, find a spot. Make sure someone's in front of you. Yep, you're doing good. Come on down, come on down. You can just stand right in front of her. Right there. Yep, you're good. Ladies, we got 2 spots right here. Yep. Right over here, Sister Devon. Right over here. There we go. There we go. Okay. So you're going to go through the sheet that you have, answer those questions, and then you will be going back and forth asking additional questions to see how can you help. So what is your current role in real estate? You'll let them know that. What is the role you want to play in real estate? So after today, you've heard some other types of ways. So you're going to say what role you would want to play, and then how can you help one another? All right, go. Got 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right, that's time. That's time. That's time. Good job, everybody. So y'all just saying, well, we didn't get it all out. Okay, so that's time. Okay, so what'd you say? Yeah. Right. Okay, so good job. So raise your hand if you actually told the person you were talking to what type of real estate you're doing right now. If you told the person you're talking to what type of real estate you're in right now? You did? Okay, I'm just seeing if you follow directions. Okay. So we're going to do this one more time because we just have a few minutes. We're going to do this one more time. So the people that are facing the back, stay where you are. Stay where you are. The people that are facing me, take one step this way to the next person. And then down here on the end, you get to walk all the way down here. Got it? Okay, good. So you got 3 more minutes. So you got to get it out because I'm going to let you know when it's 30 seconds left. All right, go. Thirty seconds. All right, time's up, time's up. Clap it up for your neighbor, clap it up for your neighbor. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, Master Builders. Great job. So somebody tell me, let's go with sister right here. Did you get some help? Good, good. Let's see. Oh, I know they got help. They still writing down. So if you got the information, you can go ahead and head back to your seats so we can close up. Did you get some help? Good job, good job, good job. And now I'm going to call up the amazing, the absolutely wonderful Miss Erica Berry to come close us out of our Master Builder session this morning. Erica.
You sure know how to make a person feel special. All right, so did you guys learn some things today? Who's acting on something today, this week? Who's doing something? All right, I'm excited. All right, so thank you for joining us today for Master Builders Academy Forum, Profiting in Properties Part 3. Okay, so before we end, remember to share the information with your friends and family, okay? And tell them about Master Builders. To be even more involved with Master Builders Academy and to get more support, we would like to offer you the MBA membership opportunity. To sign up, send an email to masterbuildersacademymba@gmail.com, masterbuildersacademymba@gmail.com, or simply visit our website at masterbuildersacademy.org. Scroll down to where it says register now and click on Let's Go. All right, Master Builders Academy, we have different levels of membership. So I'm gonna give those to you here right now. They're gonna put them up on the screen because what I have on my phone is way too small for me to read. So the silver membership is $250 a year. Master Builders, you would get, with this, you get Master Builders regular scheduled forums 2 times a month, Masterminds 2 times a month, access to the library, the forums, the PowerPoints, the handouts, ability to bring a person to the meeting with you, and the annual MBA event and merchandise access. Okay, so that's the silver level at $250 a year. I'm sorry. Gold, $500 a year. You get curriculum updated regularly, group coaching, business promotion, and marketing through MBA, plus all of the other things that you received at the silver level. Okay, that's the gold level at $500 a year. Platinum is $1,000 a year. You get your mentorship, you get coaching, business, finances, real estate, video promo of your business. You are invited to open board member meetings once a month. The curriculum is updated regularly, and all of the other things that are in the gold and the silver package, you get those in platinum as well. Okay, so those things at the top are those added things that you get at the platinum level. For students, we offer $50 a year, age 25 up to age 25, and currently enrolled. So the perk with this is that you're open to the board member meetings. And Master Builders regular scheduled forums twice a month, masterminds, access to the library, and the ability to bring a person with you, and the annual MBA events that we have. Okay. Do we have any new members today? No? Okay. All right, so I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Okay, so after you find the level of membership that works for you, you can send an email to Master Builders Academy, MBA, at gmail.com. So the same way that we began, we're going to end in prayer. Why don't we stand? Let's stand. Okay, so Lord, we want to thank you for allowing us to come together today and to share in these things that we're doing here and the profiting properties. We want to thank you for helping us keep these things in our mind and continue to take action as we are with ourselves, with our families, and with our community. We trust that you will bless us with thoughts, strategies, and plans to get properties, to expand our territory in the things that we're doing. Lord, please watch over us and keep us and our families safe. Help us to progress and move forward as we keep our eyes focused on you. Continued blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
God can